Sunlight streamed through the cavern openings, scattering brilliant prisms across jagged crystal walls. The human explorers paused at the entrance, scanning the tunnels for predators rumored to inhabit the depths. She stepped forward. An alien. Princess with iridescent markings glinting in the sunlight, exuding authority without a single word. Her golden eyes swept over every surface, sensing danger that our human eyes could not perceive. I followed closely, carrying weapons and supplies. Trusting her instincts above all else, villagers in our group murmured nervously, unsure whether courage or fear would guide them today. She lifted a hand, and the crystal surfaces seemed to shimmer, subtly illuminating a safe path forward. From deeper in the caverns came a low, guttural growl, heightening tension in the air. She spoke softly, her voice calm yet commanding, directing us with precision and care. I felt awe and unease, realizing her presence already changed the energy of the place. Shadows danced across crystal walls as predators stalked us, their reflective eyes tracking each step we took. I gripped my spear, ready for attack, while she moved gracefully over uneven stone, energy rippling along her limbs. Villagers followed hesitantly, torches and sunlit reflections creating deceptive patterns across the walls. She noticed subtle movements in the crystals, signaling me to intercept. A predator before it could strike. With a swift motion, she deflected a swipe from a jagged claw, her markings glowing intensely, sending a pulse through the cavern floor. The predators froze, startled by her presence, revealing her power was as much psychological as physical. Villagers whispered in awe, realizing the alien princess was a guardian unlike any they had known. I felt admiration for her precision, courage, and the calm authority she exuded effortlessly. Every step deeper into the caverns tested our strategy, endurance, and trust in her leadership. The humans were learning quickly that survival depended as much on belief as skill. Narrow tunnels forced us into single file, the crystal shards jutting dangerously from every surface. She signaled for caution, guiding us expertly through the treacherous terrain. I noticed a subtle vibration in her hands, a resonance that seemed to communicate with the crystals themselves. Predators prowled above and around, their claws scratching against the reflective surfaces, sending echoes through the caverns. She paused and whispered, warning us of a weak ceiling section, allowing me to stabilize it with nearby rocks. Her gestures directed villagers to prepare safe paths, blending action with subtle teaching. The cavern seemed alive, responding to her presence, as if she were a part of its ecosystem. Every reflection, shadow, and echo carried messages that only she could interpret. I marveled at how seamlessly she moved, a combination of grace, strategy, and innate wisdom. Villagers' fear gradually transformed into confidence, inspired by her guidance and aura. By midday, sunlight penetrated deeper through fissures, casting shimmering light along jagged walls and highlighting hidden predator tracks. She knelt, briefly, examining claw marks with keen attention, silently instructing me on predator behavior. I followed her guidance, reinforcing traps and setting up diversions to protect the group. Villagers watched carefully, learning not only survival skills, but the discipline of observation and patience. Predators tested our defenses sporadically, their movements cautious in response to her presence. Her courage and composure influenced everyone, including myself, instilling confidence in our strategy. Every gesture and command carried authority, teaching humans how to survive while minimizing harm. Shadows lengthened as sunlight shifted, revealing additional hidden passages and lurking dangers. Her presence transformed fear into calculated vigilance, a living shield over our fragile group. I felt a growing bond, not just of trust but admiration, as we advanced together, deeper into the perilous crystal labyrinth. She paused at a widened chamber where sunlight struck crystal spires at every angle, creating a dazzling, almost blinding display. Predators lurked along the edges, hesitant to approach, sensing her commanding presence. I organized the humans, directing them to form protective formations, while she controlled the center with subtle energy pulses. The cavern hummed faintly under her influence, each crystal vibrating in response to her gestures. A small predator lunged from behind a crystal column, but she reacted instantly, deflecting its attack and sending a warning pulse that halted its companions. Villagers gasped, witnessing her extraordinary abilities and learning quickly to trust the instructions given. I watched her carefully, understanding that her courage was as much about guidance as defense. The predators, intelligent and aware, retreated slightly, respecting her authority. Every movement she made reinforced the importance of coordination, patience, and precision in the caverns. That afternoon, we advanced further, inspired by her brilliance, resilience, and leadership. The next chamber held evidence of larger predators, claw marks deep and fresh along the crystal walls. She examined them silently, explaining subtle cues to the humans, teaching us to read the environment as an extension of our senses. I helped fortify pathways, guided by her direction, ensuring villagers remained safe while remaining mobile. The predators probed cautiously, each movement observed and countered through her signals. Her courage radiated through the chamber, calming nervous hearts and steadying anxious hands. I realized her influence extended beyond defense. She was a teacher, a strategist, and an inspiration simultaneously. Shadows of predators shifted in the light, wary and calculating, yet unable to overcome her presence. Villagers began to operate confidently, acting with purpose and precision. Every obstacle reinforced lessons of trust, unity, and vigilance. I felt our bond deepen, a partnership forged through danger, intelligence, and mutual respect. We reached a fork in the tunnels where sunlight barely penetrated, and crystal formations twisted dangerously overhead. She paused, scanning both paths, analyzing predator patterns and human capabilities. I assisted in setting traps and warning systems, following her subtle gestures and glowing markings. Villagers moved cautiously, guided by her expertise and commanding aura. Predators circled, testing our nerves, but her calm influence kept panic at bay. Every movement became a lesson in coordination, every pause a teaching moment. I felt inspired by her patience and insight, learning to predict predator behavior alongside her. The caverns, once threatening and alien, were slowly revealing secrets under her guidance. Shadows and light shifted, emphasizing the precarious beauty and danger of the environment. By late afternoon, we had secured the path, the humans fully, engaged and trusting her completely. At the deepest chamber yet, sunlight reflected off a massive crystal cluster, creating sharp beams that fractured across walls and floor. She guided us carefully, analyzing every shadow and movement for hidden predators. I positioned traps and diversions as instructed, aware that a single misstep could be fatal. Villagers moved in a coordinated pattern, inspired and emboldened by her presence. Predators lingered at the edges, cautious yet persistent, testing defenses repeatedly. She remained calm, her energy glowing steadily, radiating control and confidence. I observed how naturally humans followed her lead, instinctively understanding her authority. The crystal labyrinth itself seemed to resonate with her presence, aiding in our defense. Every reflection and shadow became a tool, each step a tactical decision. That evening, we paused to rest, knowing the caverns still held dangers but feeling a renewed sense of purpose and hope. The following morning, sunlight filtered through jagged crystal skylights, casting fractured light across uneven floors. She led the group confidently, her markings glowing faintly in rhythm with her movements. I followed closely, carrying weapons and supplies, ready for any predator ambush. Villagers moved in synchronized formations, their confidence growing under her guidance. Predators prowled in the shadows, testing our defenses without fully revealing themselves. She whispered instructions, gestures precise and fluid, blending strategy with grace. Every reflective surface became an observation point, every crystal a potential barrier or trap. I marveled at how seamlessly she merged caution and courage. Villagers absorbed her lessons, instinctively understanding her authority and the rhythm of the caverns. The day stretched ahead, tense yet hopeful, as we advanced deeper into danger. A low rumble echoed through the tunnels as a predator pack approached from a distant chamber. She raised her hands, generating subtle energy pulses that deterred them. Momentarily, I assisted by reinforcing barricades and guiding villagers to safer positions. The predators tested our formation, swiping at walls and crystal shards, but her presence kept them cautious. Villagers whispered in awe, learning that courage and authority could repel threats without direct combat. I noticed her eyes tracking every movement, calculating angles and weaknesses. Each pulse of her energy seemed to communicate unspoken commands to humans. The predators hesitated, sensing the combined vigilance of human and alien forces. Sunlight illuminated her markings, casting intricate reflections that dazzled both humans and predators. Our teamwork had evolved, blending instinct, strategy, and trust into a coherent defense. By midday, the group reached a crystal chamber where sunlight refracted into a dazzling display, blinding yet breathtaking. She directed us carefully, pointing out subtle predator paths and unstable surfaces. I positioned traps as instructed, placing them where the predators were likely to advance. Villagers followed her guidance precisely, moving with newfound confidence and coordination. Predators lurked along the edges, scanning for weakness, yet were deterred by her calm authority. Every movement she made communicated safety, control, and wisdom. I found myself increasingly dependent on her insight, trusting her judgment completely. Shadows shifted unpredictably, but she navigated them effortlessly, teaching humans to read light, sound, and movement. The cavern seemed alive with tension, yet her courage radiated like a protective aura. By afternoon, we had mapped out a secure path deeper into the labyrinth. We paused briefly at a narrow junction where sunlight barely reached the floor, casting elongated shadows. She knelt, examining claw marks and crystal fractures, explaining predator behavior to the group. I helped fortify the path, adjusting traps and diversions according to her instructions. Villagers moved cautiously, but with increasing confidence, inspired by her composure and clarity. Predators observed from above, testing our defenses, but her presence kept them restrained. I marveled at how naturally she combined leadership, knowledge, and empathy. Every pulse of her energy felt like a shield, subtly protecting the humans around her. The reflections of sunlight on crystal surfaces created illusions that both guided and misled the predators. Villagers whispered thanks, their fear replaced by trust and admiration. I realized that under her guidance, survival was no longer chance. It was strategy, courage, and unity. A sudden tremor shook the chamber as a larger predator emerged, testing our coordination. She acted instantly, signaling humans to tighten formations while creating a shimmering energy barrier. I engaged directly, guiding the villagers to reinforce defensive positions. The predator lunged repeatedly, yet her energy pulses and precise guidance deflected every attack. Villagers watched, learning how to blend caution with action, inspired by her calm determination. I noticed her focus never wavered, her eyes scanning every angle for threats. Even the predator hesitated, sensing her unyielding authority and unwavering courage. Sunlight illuminated the chamber, casting brilliant reflections that enhanced her mystical presence. Our teamwork felt seamless, a blend of human determination and alien power. By evening, the predator retreated, leaving the cavern temporarily safe and reinforcing our trust in her leadership. As we rested, she moved quietly among the humans, offering reassurance and gentle instruction. Her presence alone instilled calm, her glow subtly radiating warmth and protection. I watched villagers adjust traps, learning instinctively from her example. Predators stirred in the shadows, yet remained hesitant to attack, aware of the combined vigilance. Every gesture she made taught patience, strategy, and courage. I felt a deepening bond, not only through shared danger, but admiration and mutual respect. Sunlight filtered through crystal fissures, casting dynamic patterns across her glowing markings. The humans began moving with confidence, blending instinct with her guidance. The day ended with renewed morale, a sense of unity, and anticipation for the challenges ahead. The crystal labyrinth, once threatening, now seemed navigable under her influence. The next morning brought a new threat, predators from multiple tunnels converging near the main chamber. She raised her hands, creating an intricate web of energy, barriers that separated us from imminent danger. I coordinated with villagers, reinforcing traps and guiding escape routes. The predators tested our defenses, swiping and clawing, yet her presence restrained their aggression. Villagers observed, learning how to respond with patience and precision under extreme pressure. Every motion she made was calculated, blending instinct, strategy, and an almost artistic grace. I realized our survival depended as much on trust as strength. The sunlight refracted sharply on the crystals, revealing hidden passages and predator movements. Shadows danced unpredictably, but she navigated them effortlessly, keeping the group secure. By midday, our path was clear, and morale soared under her unwavering leadership. Deeper into the caverns, we encountered a massive crystal formation that split the tunnel in two. She examined it, sensing predators hiding in crevices we could not see. I followed her instructions to position humans and traps strategically. Villagers moved quickly and confidently, inspired by her energy and calm demeanor. Predators probed cautiously, unable to approach directly. Every gesture she made conveyed authority and guidance, teaching humans subtle ways to survive. Sunlight reflecting through cracks created shifting patterns, highlighting predator tracks and safe paths. I was amazed at how naturally she integrated observation, strategy, and defense. Villagers learned to read the cavern environment almost as she did. That afternoon, we advanced further, facing challenges with growing skill and courage. A sudden predator attack erupted in the chamber, testing all our defenses simultaneously. She reacted instantly, coordinating humans and creating barriers that deflected claws and fangs. I assisted in repositioning villagers, striking at predators that slipped past defenses. The humans followed her signals flawlessly, inspired and confident. Predators swarmed aggressively, yet her courage never wavered, guiding the group expertly. Sunlight fractured across crystal shards, illuminating the chaos while highlighting her glowing markings. I watched in awe as she combined speed, strategy, and intuition seamlessly. Villagers began to understand timing, observation, and trust, applying her lessons in real time. By evening, the predator threat subsided, leaving us victorious yet aware of more dangers ahead. Our confidence had grown exponentially under her direction. The final stretch of the day revealed a vast chamber filled with intricate crystal spires. Sunlight penetrated the ceiling fissures, creating a dazzling prism effect across the floor. She paused, surveying the expanse, sensing multiple predator movements and potential hazards. I moved to reinforce human positions, following her detailed instructions with precision. Villagers navigated the spire-studded floor with increasing skill, inspired by her presence and energy. Predators lingered at the edges, cautious but testing our readiness. Her calm authority permeated every action, guiding humans instinctively. Shadows shifted with sunlight, creating deceptive movements that she interpreted flawlessly. I realized that survival depended not only on courage, but on trust, observation, and synergy. By dusk, we had secured a safe path through the chamber, ready for the next challenge in the crystal depths. Sunlight poured into the upper tunnels, glinting off jagged crystal walls as we approached the final chamber. She moved confidently at the front, her golden eyes scanning every corner for predators lying in wait. I positioned villagers strategically, following her precise gestures and glowing markings. Shadows shifted as unseen creatures stalked the edges, testing our defenses with cautious swipes. Every command she gave carried authority and reassurance, instilling courage in those around her. The cavern floor was treacherous, jagged shards glinting in the bright light. She signaled subtle energy pulses, guiding us safely through tight passages. I marveled at her awareness, sensing danger before it manifested. Villagers followed flawlessly, trust and confidence evident in every step. Our journey deeper into the crystal labyrinth had transformed from fear into mastery under her leadership. Midday, a sudden tremor shook the chamber as predators launched a coordinated attack. She raised her hands, creating an intricate energy barrier that separated humans from the advancing threat. I moved quickly, directing villagers to reinforce barricades and cover vulnerable points. The predators tested our defenses aggressively, but her presence and guidance kept panic at bay. Every pulse of her energy seemed to communicate strategy and timing to the humans. I watched her command with awe, blending instinct, precision, and empathy flawlessly. The sunlight refracted on crystal shards, illuminating the chaos and highlighting her glowing markings. Villagers mirrored her movements, acting instinctively yet carefully. Predators hesitated repeatedly, unable to breach her aura of authority. By afternoon, the assault had subsided, leaving us weary but victorious. We pressed on toward the cavern's heart, where massive crystal formations blocked our path. She studied the structures carefully, detecting predator movements hidden in crevices. I followed instructions, reinforcing traps and guiding villagers through narrow gaps. Shadows shifted constantly as predators circled cautiously, testing our defenses with subtle, probing attacks. She remained calm, her energy glowing steadily, radiating authority and protection. Villagers learned to read the environment as she did, anticipating dangers and responding confidently. Sunlight refracted through cracks, creating dazzling, deceptive patterns. Every movement she made conveyed strategy and courage, teaching by example. I felt our bond deepen, trust, respect, and admiration growing with each obstacle. By evening, the final chamber loomed, dangerous yet navigable under her guidance. A sudden predator swarm emerged from multiple tunnels, converging toward our position with relentless aggression. She acted instantly, coordinating humans and generating protective energy barriers. I assisted in guiding villagers and reinforcing defenses, striking at predators that broke through initial lines. The humans moved flawlessly under her command, inspired and disciplined. Predators lunged and swiped, yet her calm authority guided our every counter. Sunlight reflected off crystals, casting blinding patterns that added confusion for the predators. Her movements were fluid, precise, a combination of instinct, strategy, and courage. Villagers adapted instantly, applying lessons learned through prior encounters. The predators, formidable yet hesitant, ultimately retreated, respecting her presence. That afternoon, the cavern fell quiet, a tense peace settling over the labyrinth. We advanced toward a massive crystal spire at the chamber's center, the sun casting dazzling rays through fractured walls. She paused, scanning the surroundings for any remaining threats or hidden predators. I adjusted the human formations, placing villagers in optimal defensive positions. Predators lurked in shadows, yet her aura of authority and courage restrained them. Every gesture she made communicated instruction, assurance, and power, guiding the humans instinctively. The sunlight enhanced her glowing markings, highlighting the grace and beauty of her presence. Villagers whispered among themselves, marveling, At her combination of wisdom, courage, and leadership, I felt awe and deep trust, knowing we had survived countless dangers because of her. Shadows moved with the shifting light, but she navigated them effortlessly. By evening, we had secured the chamber fully, our confidence and skills elevated to mastery. A faint tremor indicated predators hidden deep within the crystal network. She calmly directed humans to safe positions, subtle energy pulses deterring attacks. I worked alongside villagers, setting traps and guiding movements with precise timing. Predators probed, testing our vigilance, yet her calm presence prevented chaos. Every motion she made became a lesson in strategy, observation, and courage. Sunlight refracted brilliantly through crystal walls, illuminating hidden predator positions. Villagers followed her commands instinctively, learning discipline and timing in real time. I felt a bond of respect and admiration growing beyond fear or obligation. The predators withdrew cautiously, recognizing her dominance and influence. By late afternoon, our path was clear, yet vigilance remained paramount. The group approached. The cavern's exit, sunlight illuminating the path in brilliant fractured patterns. She led confidently, scanning for last-minute threats, her aura a beacon of courage. I reinforced positions behind us, ensuring no predator could attack from the rear. Shadows shifted as predators tested boundaries, but her energy kept them at bay. Every step forward was calculated, precise, and safe under her guidance. Villagers moved efficiently, following instinct shaped by lessons learned throughout the journey. Sunlight glinted off crystal shards, highlighting the intricate beauty of the cavern. I realized our success depended as much on trust and unity as on strategy or strength. Her presence had transformed fear into confidence for everyone present. By evening, the exit was within reach, promising freedom and safety. As we stepped into open daylight, the crystal caverns behind us glimmered, serene yet dangerous in memory. She paused, surveying the group with quiet pride, ensuring all humans were accounted for. I felt a surge of admiration, awe, and gratitude, aware of the bond forged in peril. Villagers smiled, no longer trembling, their courage strengthened by her guidance. Predators were left behind, hesitant to challenge the united human-alien force. Sunlight warmed our faces, a stark contrast to the dim, treacherous tunnels. Her markings reflected the sun brilliantly, emphasizing her beauty, power, and presence. I realized our journey had been more than survival. It was transformation, trust, and unity. Shadows of the past remained, yet the humans now moved with confidence and mastery. The crystal depths had tested us, but her spirit had united the HFY fighters, achieving victory against all odds. A final predator lurked near the cavern's edge, but she stepped forward with calm authority. I prepared to assist, yet she raised a hand, and the predator hesitated, then retreated. Villagers cheered softly, a mixture of relief, awe, and newfound courage evident on their faces. Sunlight illuminated every detail of the cavern's exit, casting long, heroic shadows. Every motion she made reinforced lessons of courage, strategy, and trust. I felt admiration, gratitude, and a growing bond that went beyond simple survival. Predators scattered, recognizing her dominance, leaving the group unharmed. The humans, confidence soared, their skills honed and courage awakened. Her leadership had transformed them from frightened explorers to a capable, united force. I realized that her spirit had truly led us all through danger, forging bonds that would endure, far beyond the crystal depths. We finally emerged onto the forested plains beyond the caverns, sunlight warm and golden on our faces. She turned to the group, a subtle smile playing across her lips, signaling triumph and relief. I felt a mix of awe, admiration, and deep respect, aware that our journey had changed us all. Villagers laughed and embraced, celebrating survival, courage, and the unity forged by her guidance. Predators retreated into the shadows, leaving the humans free to explore, heal, and thrive. The sunlight reflected brilliantly on her markings, emphasizing the harmony of power and compassion. Every obstacle we had faced together had strengthened bonds, taught lessons, and built trust. I realized that the cavern's dangers had been transformative, shaping us into a resilient and cohesive unit. Her spirit had not only protected us, it had united us, turning fear into triumph. That day, the crystal depths fade,